What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Unplayable, here with another Star Wars Unlimited video. I'm here with Mike, the Rebel Spy, and I'm D-House, and we are jumping right into the FFG Q&A that they did all over social media on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all over. There were a billion questions. We'll probably miss a few, but while the news is fresh, we wanted to bring some of these responses to you, so if you're too lazy or you're actually busy and actually work at your jobs, unlike some of us, we wanted...
Unlike me, if you didn't know that they were doing this on multiple platforms and you only looked at one, we're going to go through all of them.
Yeah. So we're going to talk through them and give our reactions. Some will be quick, some will be a little bit longer, but let's dive right in. Mike, take it away.
Let's do it. All right. So the first question is from us. And we asked, and by we, I mean me, knowing it's different for every designer, whoever reads this first, what's the first thing that goes into a card design for you? And then they didn't answer the bonus question, so we won't go there. But John says card title. Danny said it depends, but most often a meme, which is my favorite answer. Tyler said, what does the set infrastructure need? Jeremy said a unique ability to play with. And Joe said, is it fun? Does it feel like the character? All great answers. I love how varied they are. They each approach it from a very, very different perspective, which is really cool to see, and probably why each of them contributes their own unique flavor to the game, right?
Yeah. I think Jeremy's real answer was, how can I break everything? How can I destroy?
Do you think Jeremy just like slips cards in that like the other designers don't see and knows that it's going to be crazy good?
Probably. But yeah, obviously, I think the cool thing is that there's so many game developers responding to this.
Yeah,
and I think there's even more than that. At one point, they said there were 8 developers, and so they ran out of characters just to answer the question. But
we saw MJ cuts on the live stream, and he didn't answer this question. So MJ, if you're watching this, we want to know your answer to this question, and any of the other designers who didn't answer this. I love this question. I'm just curious to know how designers design things.
Yeah, love it. Great question, right. Mike. Well done.
Well, thank you so much. All right, next is 2 questions, basically. Well, it's 1 question, but two answers, I guess. So
sideboards.
Both relating to sideboards. How big are sideboards going to be? The answer is 10 cards. So we knew that sideboarding was a thing from the last OP stream. Now we know how many cards. Any thoughts on 10?
10 feels like a standard sideboard. I don't follow games closely enough to know if other. But I feel like Flesh and Blood was 10. Wasn't Flesh and Blood 10?
Well, Flesh and Blood is like you actually have an 80 card deck or something like that, and then you can cut cards from it down to a 60 card deck, but it counts your equipment. Very confusing. I don't really know.
Hurts my head.
Magic, I believe, is 15 cards.
I do know people were surmising that because of the amount of sleeves you get in a game-genic thing, how much sideboard. So I heard the number 9 being thrown around for a while. So it's just good to have a confirmation we've got 10 so we can start messing around with best of 3s. And
now we know. And I think we will do that on the channel because it sounds like a good way to play. And play the real rules, I guess. Yeah. And then Tim Bunn, who is awesome. Shout out to Tim Bunn. While sideboarding, shout out to his dudeness too. I'm sure he's awesome. While sideboarding, will bases be allowed to be in the sideboard? And the answer is no. No bases in the sideboard. That came up actually between me and Jay. I don't know if that video got posted, but we had a question about that. And you might bring in a 30 health base versus a 25 health base, depending on which deck you're playing against, but you can't do that. So, which I actually kind of like that personally. Yeah. Makes you sort of lock into a strategy and commit to it.
Well, it's also tough to sideboard. Like you might sideboard differently based on the base, not just the hero, if you know certain things that you see. So I do like that. It's like you have all the information possible that's going to be on the board. Like you put down your hero, you put down your base. Okay, now I'm sideboarding like for or theoretically, I don't know how this.
Well, I think you probably play the first game. This is usually how it works in a best of 3 anyway. You play the first game, no sideboarding. Then after game 1, you can sideboard. And then after game 2, you can sideboard if there's a game 3.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our friend Jedi Geek Girl from iRebel. What is your favorite canon Star Wars novel? It's a question to everyone. Nobody picked the correct answer, which I'm a little upset by. But Tyler said Bloodline, which I actually love that book. Great book. Great answer.
It's
It's up there for sure. It's
All right.
probably my second or third favorite.
Okay.
Light of the Jedi, said Danny. Also fantastic. I just recently read this, and probably one of my top 3 favorites, actually.
I need to read this.
Phasma, said John, and
Also
I thought that book was okay. I don't know. I liked it, but
that's a little bit of a hot take.
It's a deeper cut book, I would say.
Well, because Phasma was such a controversial character too.
She was. She was much cooler in the book than she was in the movies. I'll tell you that.
But the book made me appreciate her character more. But I wish her character was better expressed.
Agreed.
I do think you see a little bit more of her character in the comics, and that I've enjoyed.
I should check that out.
Yeah,
I'll have to read those. All right, and then another Light of the Jedi from Joe, great book, and Republic Commando 000 from MJ. And I believe that this is a rule break because I don't think it's a canon novel.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So I think that's where the rule break comes in from. But nobody picked.
But is it not 000 like Afro's 000?
I don't know. I never read the book.
Okay, MJ.
But the correct answer is Dark Disciple.
Oh, I didn't read that one.
Mistake.
I thought you were going to say Thrawn.
All these other designers must not have read it either because it's the correct answer.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Thrawn.
Well, Thrawn's great too. Thrawn is great, but Dark Disciple is my favorite.
I'm actually a huge fan of Aftermath.
Yeah, you like the Aftermath trilogy.
I really did, because that's where my favorite character was introduced, Mr. Bones. Not Jar Jar Binks or Max Rebo, Mike. By the way,
yeah,
you miss one video and you get labeled a Anyways,
yeah, that's what you get. All right, our friend Kevin at Roll On Gaming asks, is there a formula you use for determining the cost of a card in Star Wars Unlimited? For example, multiple aspects reduce cost, certain keywords like shielded or saboteur increase cost, etc. The answer being yes, but it is as much an art as a science. Vanilla units are easier to determine, but even then, the relevance of the traits makes some cards stronger than others, of course. Once you add in abilities, it becomes even more of a judgment call, but there is at least an underlying foundation. Make sense?
Yep, makes sense. I think this is like the baseline of card design right here, and I'm glad it's not my job.
Same, honestly. All right, SwooDB, our favorite online deck builder. What cards do y'all like to pair with Galactic Ambition? For those who don't know, Galactic Ambition is it's just a villain card. It's just a villainous card. It costs, I believe, 7.
Yep. And
it says something to the effect of play a unit from your hand, decreasing its cost by 1 or 2.
No, you play it for free.
Oh, you play it for free?
Yeah, because you pay 7 for the event. You play it for free.
I should have just pulled it up, but I didn't.
Printed cost.
Sure. So you play something for free, take damage equals printed cost. So Tyler's answer is the unrevealed blue villain leader and Emperor Palpatine the unit. We've seen Emperor Palpatine the unit. It costs 8. It's a 6/6, and it deals 6 damage however you want to your opponent's units. So Tyler, you're telling me that you want to spend a card and a resource and deal 6 damage to your base to just save, or not and a resource, but save 1 resource.
Yeah, save 1. Yeah.
And I guess do it 1 turn early. Emperor Palpatine's a red card, so you're not playing Super Laser Technician. You could have played it 1 turn early anyway if you weren't playing blue.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious what this blue villain leader is. The only thing I could really come up with was maybe it gives your base a shield, and then you don't take the damage from Galactic Ambition.
Oh, I get that. Yeah.
So that could be cool. Maybe this is hinting at that.
But you're still saving 1.
Yeah, you get it out a turn early.
Like I would expect what was the card? Devastator that was with the 10-10-10. But the blue villain leader needs to be pretty stinking good. It would make sense for it to be the Palpatine leader with the Palpatine. Maybe there's some kind of Palpatine multiverse thing.
Yeah.
For Galactic Ambition, that would make sense. But I'm suspicious, Tyler. I'm just saying, man. I would like to see this deck on an FFG live stream, please.
Ooh, yes, that would be sweet. Yep. Definitely a request. All right, moving on. We've got, you are not going to drop the number of legendaries in the set now, or yes, but I'm concerned about it. I see very difficult to gather 2 times 3 for a deck, and almost impossible 3 times 3 without spending a fortune. Can you drop something to calm this occupation? Okay. The answer is when designing / balancing cards, we don't correlate power to rarity. Power is correlated to narrowness, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they're saying like not all the most powerful cards are legendaries. Some of the most powerful cards are common. So like, don't worry too much about not getting all the legendaries because you're not going to need all the legendaries, which I generally, agree with in card games. I think from what we've seen, other people may have a different opinion, but I don't think Black One is all that powerful and it's a legendary.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's one example.
Yeah, and then we've got like everybody loves the little A-Wing. I'm pretty sure that's a common.
Yeah, that card's insanely good.
So
I wouldn't worry too much about it. And if you're interested in making budget decks and stuff like that, I'm sure we will be posting videos about that. So subscribe to the channel to see those later.
Yep. I'm curious to see, if it really is like a normal legendary, like Cunning, Vigilance, like those kind of double aspect cards, if they are actually like a ton of money and hard to get, or if it's just the hyperspace foil versions.
That is a good question. I do think that the existence of the hyperspace version and the hyperspace foil version and all of those additional like collectible versions of the cards, I think that helps drive the price down of the normal versions of the cards. Yeah. So I think there's a good chance that the game it will be fairly affordable.
Yeah.
Even if some of the legendaries are better than others, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Moving on. There are a couple of sub-themes in some aspects that currently seem light / dark side coded. Discard in Cunning Heroism, Recursion in Command Heroism, but are included in the namesake events. Is this a function of the current revealed card pool or an explicit design choice? So the answer from Tyler is the abilities on the aspect events are all foundational for those colors, but hero / villain get unequal access to them and make the sides feel slightly distinct. Yellow hero will get more hand disruption than yellow villain. That doesn't mean yellow villain can't get it at all, which is cool. I like that they're making the hero versus villain distinct even in the same color.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Big fan. I don't have anything else, but I like this.
Sweet. All right. Will all Spark of Rebellion cards be revealed before its release? Were sequel and prequel era cards included in Spark just cards you really wanted to depict right away? A way to assure fans all eras will get representation. Do you agree AP5 singing is the best Star Wars moment of all time?
What is that last question? I don't even know what that's saying.
So it was an episode of Star Wars Rebels. AP5 is that droid, like Chopper's buddy. He's like an Imperial droid that they take. And he kind of sounds like Alan Rickman, and then he gets shot into space and is just like floating there and starts like singing like this poem kind of thing. And then there's these like space birds that come and like are chirping next to his head.
I don't remember this.
Probably one of my favorite scenes from that show. So I appreciate this guy's question.
Oh my gosh. Can you edit that in? That would be great.
Maybe. All right. And the answer is sequel and prequel era cards were included partially because we wanted the characters in the game sooner and partially to set the expectation that there would be off-theme cards in a small volume in every set. Sounds good? Yeah. The AP5 singing being the best Star Wars moment of all time was not answered, but it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah. I do like, I like these like focus themes, but I like these little teasers, like Black One dropping in or Mace Windu popping in.
Yeah, it's good.
I think that's good. It keeps things interesting. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, you never know what to expect 100%.
Because then you get the future sets where you're like, oh, there's this like resistance, like tribal thing, and like, oh, you remember Black One? That fits perfectly, and blah blah blah, and that's when it gets fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Any chance of a store locator on the official site for verified game night hosts and stores with product? I've been knocking on doors for shops in about a 25-mile radius, and an official database would be amazing. Yes, there will be a store locator.
Yeah.
So that's good. I love those.
Yes. And then, but I'll also add, like, sometimes you just need to be the guy who makes the Facebook group or the Discord channel for your area and pin a post that says, here's all the places, just to make it like, it's just helpful to know that someone did that for Chicago for another game. And it was really helpful just to have it all in one place. I could just go. And so don't be afraid to also pitch in some work here if you really want the game to do well. So
for sure. All right. The recent reveal of Thrawn in Cunning seems to preclude Jabba the Hutt as a leader in this set, unless he goes into an unexpected aspect like command. Can you talk a little bit about the thought process behind who got the leader slots in this set and which aspect they went into? I could write a whole article on this. In short, we wanted to hit the following points. 1, recognizable, desirable characters from the Galactic Civil War. 2, a diverse cast from a variety of source materials. And 3, character versions that fit the needed color skeleton. And that fits with the design question that Tyler answered earlier.
Yeah,
with whatever fits what the set needs.
I just, let's just have a Tyler appreciation moment, because this is the guy, when people ask big questions, he's not afraid to, like, get out the laptop and really, add some, like, thoughts. And he's the guy hopping on Twitter and doing all this, like, behind the scenes. Like, he's not afraid. I bet if they loosed the reins, like, Tyler would write an article a day on some of this stuff.
So loosen the reins, FFG. All right. When will we see the first foil card? Soon. Sweet. I'm very excited.
Honestly, I forgot we hadn't seen one until I saw this question. I'm like, wait.
I honestly forgot to.
Yeah. I want to see
because we've seen the
too.
hyperspace cards.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually seen a foil card.
I just got chills. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm very pumped. All right.
I love this next one.
Yeah, from Golden Dice Podcast. I know at least one of you loves Wheaties. What's everyone's take on the cereal? Apparently the only one who likes them is Joe. Everybody else says pass, no thanks, or they have nice boxes. MJ, you've really never tried Wheaties?
MJ seems like the youngest of the group. I don't know if that's true, but
maybe Gen Z doesn't do cereal.
But I do appreciate the confidence of, I'm assuming it's Jack by Golden Dice saying, I know at least one, and it was accurate at one person. Maybe there's a theory in, like, a group of, like,
amongst a group of X number of people, at least one will like some research Wheaties
of the people.
Well, what's your take on Wheaties, David?
Of our unplayable group, I'm gonna say Jim Braden is probably the guy who likes the Wheaties guy.
I would.
He seems like the Wheaties guy.
Place my bet there.
Yeah,
I don't mind Wheaties, but I don't think I've ever purchased them in my entire life.
Like, if it's the only option, sure, whatever. Yeah. But
it's not my go-to cereal.
I'm not reaching for the Wheaties. Give me my Cinnamon Toast Crunch and leave me alone.
All right, we've got another question from Jedi Geek Girl.
Oh, multiple.
Yeah, we all know that Star Wars Unlimited will have stuff from every corner of Star Wars, including stuff beyond the films, TV shows, and video games. When it comes to things like that, is research being done by the design team for extended canon, not Legends EU, but canon, content like reading the canon books and comics that you've not read yet? Or is the team going to Wikipedia? I almost read that as Wikipedia because that's like just where I go.
It's true, yeah.
Or are you getting a list of lesser known things from Lucasfilm? I ask because the inclusion of deep dives like the 97th Legion are important to me, and I can't wait to see even more. Great question. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that 97th Legion was a deep cut from one of those properties, so I'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
I always thought it was interesting that card is unique, and maybe there is a bigger reason why that I don't know. So the answer was we have all manner of Star Wars fans on the design team, which is great, including some lifelong fans who love the lore of the publishing division, novels and comics. The 97th Legion is not the last such call out you'll see. So, David, I know you want Mr. Bones in the game.
I'm like, there is no start. Like, when Destiny came out with Mr. Bones, and it was on a playmat, I lost my mind.
The art was really sweet too.
Oh, it's so good, and it had never been seen in art before. I think it was like the first official art piece of Mr.
right?
Bones.
Yeah, so cool.
So I'm with you. I want those deep cut. It can't be all deep cuts, right? It has to be recognizable on a table, but
sure.
Some of those those nods to fans. I mean, there's some guys like Snap Wexley's one, whereas he is in Force Awakens, but his role is so small.
Right.
But in the comics, in the book, Snap has a much stronger presence. So yeah.
All right. So here's a super interesting question: will note taking be allowed when playing competitive Star Wars Unlimited? And Josh says yes. What do you think about this?
Yes. I like it.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you like it?
I like it. I think it is. It's always a point of contention. The only negative I think behind note taking is just the time it takes if someone's taking
Yeah.
I mean, if you're writing an encyclopedia entry, like, come on. I mean, we got, I got lunch break, it's coming. Let's go.
Yeah.
But I think that's such an anomaly versus like what people actually do, noting, oh, there's that removal piece, or there's been 2 copies of that played, or I've seen, and as we just saw this spoiler regional governor, like, what did you name?
Yeah. Thrawn, what did you see on the top of your opponent's deck?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
what was the cost?
It'll probably be public information, I would imagine, like the notes that you write. But yeah, I don't know. That's usually how it has worked in previous games that I've played.
Yeah.
So
I think if you're doing sideboards, like, it just makes sense. Like this, yeah.
Fits in.
The negatives are so small.
Is it telling that they are allowing this? Are they basically saying, we believe that games will be short enough that this won't take too much time away from your best of 3 round or whatever?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And I think we've even noticed, if you've been following YouTube gameplay content, the more that people have gotten comfortable with the game, the shorter the games actually are. The games are actually getting. So
that's so interesting.
Unless you're just joshing around like you and me and trash talking the whole time.
I mean, half the time we're just talking with each other. Yeah.
Yeah. If we just sat there and trying to do efficient plays and play fast, but
it wouldn't be as much fun.
We're seeing games that are like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And so
yeah. I personally love this because I have really bad ADHD and I cannot remember anything. So this means that I will have to remember things less, and I enjoy that.
We're seeing a lot of 17-year-olds take down massive tournaments around, I'm like, it's the 36-year-olds out here, plus that are like,
need a handicap.
Need some help.
they need a handicap. All right, next question. At some point, maybe not an SOR, will Space Arena heavy decks be viable? The answer is yes, says John. So if you are the type of player who just wants to pew stuff in the Space Arena, there'll be a deck for you at some point.
TIE Swarm in X-Wing, man. There are people who, like, all they want to do is run TIE Swarm decks. Everyone else is trying to play their cool Luke's Invaders, and like, nah, just give me a bunch of no-name TIE fighter flying people, and let me just jam them into your base. So it's very thematic.
It's a certain type of person for sure. All right. Star Wars Resistance often feels like a forgotten piece of Star Wars media. Any plans to pull from it? David, you're going to be so excited to hear that yes is the answer to this question. Your favorite piece of Star Wars media. I enjoyed the show. I thought it was fine.
I know. I don't
remember almost anything about it, but I thought it was fine when I watched it.
Did I personally enjoy it? No. Is it okay if you did enjoy it? Yes. Just for the record. But Star Wars Resistance is a
healthy way to enjoy anything.
If we had this discussion on Discord, but Star Wars Resistance is onion covered pizza to me. Like, I want the pizza. I don't want the onions. Like, get those onions out of here.
We have this analogy is fun because I love onions on pizza.
There you go.
Just like I semi enjoyed the show.
Yeah. I did not, but I also said, because I've like publicly said that at some point in a big tournament, I feel like I'm bound to be playing some Resistance hero.
No,
it's going to be a green hero Resistance leader
rocked by one
that I have to play. Yep, it's just
you're going to lose in the top 8 to a Resistance hero.
Or I win the World Galactic Championship with it.
There you go.
Okay.
It's just gonna be Resistance characters against other Resistance characters.
Oh gosh, I don't even know their names. It's like that one annoying kid against that weird alien looking dude.
I love this question because this question is basically just asking Jeremy who the best leader is.
This is not a fair question.
What is Jeremy's favorite leader to play, or is it one that hasn't been revealed yet? Jeremy says Boba Fett. So you guys heard it here first, but Boba Fett is the best leader.
It is. Like, that's Jeremy. You gotta like I don't know, drop some crumbs. Don't give him the full steak, entree on the first question. Like, to me, is it like he just told Boba Fett is the most powerful, like, winning deck of set one. Come on, Jeremy. Come on, Jay-Z.
I'm pretty sure this is my favorite answer of the entire AMA. It's just so funny.
Which, like, people have talked about, like, okay, obviously Boba Fett is good. We've seen Cunning. That's good.
I love playing Boba Fett. Definitely one of my favorite decks.
Oh, yeah. And it's Boba Fett.
He's so good.
Like, people love Boba Fett.
Any character or any card in a card game, especially one that starts in play, that messes with your resources and lets you do more than you're supposed to in a turn, is going to be good, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Jay-Z, come on, man. The meta has been skewed for the for several months at least.
Amazing. All right. Moving on to some Facebook questions. Any chance to see an unboxing of the upcoming SOR products during one of the streams to keep the hype going? Answer is there will absolutely be more streams, many of them with product. And I cannot wait to see this. I need
weekly streams.
Yeah. I want to see a booster pack be open. I want to see what it actually looks like and feels like to rip through the pack and find those hyperspace cards in there.
There's nothing like opening that first booster pack of a new game like that. Yeah. There is something special in that experience, man.
Truly.
Yeah. So we volunteer. If you need people to do those unboxing, streams, we'll fly to Minnesota. Mike loves Minnesota in the winter.
It's my favorite place. If I get to open Star Wars Unlimited booster packs early. All right. Next question. On one of your streams, you said key theme for command is big units for villains and attacking together for heroes. Can you reveal what the key themes are for other aspects? So vigilance hero, so blue hero, healing, blue villain, self-damage / grit, red hero, aggro, Sabine, we've seen that in the A-Wing, red villainy, control. So super interesting that aggression is both aggro and control. I think that's fascinating. The same color.
Yeah.
Cunning and heroism. So yellow hero, hand disruption. Also interesting. I hope we don't see too much discard. And then cunning villainy is events, which we've seen.
This actually might be my favorite question.
I really like this breakdown.
Because like
it helps you really understand like what they are, right?
Yeah, like a lot of times what these kinds of things, they'll give you like lots of answers or like a paragraph and you're like, but what really is it? And like I like this kind of simple. So vigilance, heroism, healing, I think makes a lot of sense. We've seen that a little bit with some
Yoda's got restore, repair. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The vigilance villainy, so like blue villain, self-damage, and grit. We need to see more grit. I think
we haven't seen that much, right? We haven't seen
a lot.
Is there any grit card in blue villain right now?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think so. I mean, I don't remember because Death Trooper just damages itself.
Yeah.
But we've seen, but it's interesting because we've seen like Grand Inquisitor is red villain.
Yeah.
And self-damage. So like we've seen Rugged Survivors, which has grit, which is just vigilance, not villain.
The two red villain characters don't seem very control-y to me. We've got Grand Inquisitor and we've got IG-88.
Yeah.
Well, and Vader too. So there's three. Vader feels definitely more controlled than the other two.
But Vader feels more like, well, I don't know, tempo or
I don't know. I feel like the fact that, I mean, I don't know. Yes, he damages your opponent's base, but he also, pings the damage to one of your opponent's units, which I feel like is like pretty control-y. And his ability when he comes in gets to deal 2 damage to a unit when he attacks. I think that lines up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, very, very interesting.
The only thing like I don't fully understand is the cunning villainy events being a thing. Like, because I feel like
Bosk, right? Bosk and
okay, yeah.
Isn't there another card that deals with events? I don't remember. Something
I don't know, but a lot of like the cunning
maybe
stuff is not villain. Like Shoot First, Asteroid Sanctuary, Waylay. Like there's a lot of events that are just cunning, not specifically villainy. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. But I'm holding on to this description closely.
I think by events it probably means like cares about playing events.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I read that anyway.
All right. So ISB agent. That's you reel an event from hand. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next question. Will each leader card have a showcase version? Yes, is the answer in short, which I think we might have already known, but good to hear confirmation. I will want every single one of them.
There, someone out there will. So someone's going to be paying.
Yep. It might be me.
I will sell you mine.
I will buy yours. Are cards legal in all languages for tournaments? The answer is yes, but English rulings / wordings will be enforced. And in addition to this, all cards in the deck must be the same language. Which, does this mean that there are not going to be any Arabesh promos? Because that's technically in a different language, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm okay with that.
I'm also okay with it, but they loved doing it in Destiny. So
I know. I thought it was interesting. I remember back in like Pokemon days, like we could play.
Yeah, you could put like a Japanese card in your deck, or I mean, even in Magic, I don't think you have to have the same language throughout.
Yeah, so I'm a little curious why. Like I like if I had like, what if you could get a well, this might be different because this isn't the deck, but what if you could get a showcase Chewbacca, because everyone's gonna be running Chewbacca,
right, from a different
language.
You couldn't feel
for like a really meter. Like a much cheaper price than an English one, because you're not running English.
Yeah,
with your.
I don't know if I really like the answer to this one. I feel like you should be able to mix and match. I feel like if you're playing in a tournament at a high enough level, people generally know what cards do, and I think as long as it's not slowing the game down too much. I mean, it would be slowing the game down the same amount if your opponent's playing with an entire deck of cards where you don't know the language. So that's probably even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're sitting down with an English deck, you don't speak like French, and someone's sitting across with a French deck. That sounds.
I did that when I was a middle schooler at the Pokemon World Championships. Most of my games were non-English, but I was, when you're young, you can actually remember what everything does because your memory, your minds are just powerful. So, but I would have to, and every once in a while I'd be like, "What does this actually say?" But yeah,
so definitely interesting. We'll see how that works.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question. In your opinion, what is the sweet spot ratio for ground versus space units included in a deck? And the answer is it's context dependent, but in set 1, it's 2-to-1 from John. At least that's John's opinion. So 2 ground units for each space unit in your deck. I don't think I've ever so far built a deck with the goal of putting X amount of space units and X amount of ground units in it yet. I feel like maybe I'm just building decks wrong right now, but I feel like I just put the best cards in the deck and then call it a day, regardless of what arena they're in.
Yeah. I was thinking about my decks, and I'm like, I feel like it kind of comes out to that.
Yeah, just kind of like naturally.
Because I think maybe it feels like there's more ground units.
There are more total ground units, yeah.
So maybe that's why. Maybe at the end when we know all the cards, it feels different, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Are you allowed to have more than 50 cards in your constructed deck? Yep. And it is actively encouraged to thwart mill players.
Does that say mill? I thought that looks like Mike to me. It's actively encouraged to thwart Mike Rudin, the Rebel Spy. Thanks, Danny.
It's probably, we haven't really seen that many cards that will let you mill people in this game. So
no,
I don't know if they're going to be pushing that strategy, but I'll try to do it anyway, probably.
I know you will. Vigilance, man, it's coming.
Yep. Just vigilance. There is a card.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. I was wrong.
Discards
6 cards. I think
6. Yeah.
All right. You watch out.
I'm watching. I'm ready.
All right. Next question. If hyperspace foil rare / legendary is 1 in 50 boosters, and legendary is 1 in 8 boosters, does that mean legendary hyperspace foil is 1 in 400 boosters? Thankfully, the answer is no. The ratio is different for foil than standard. It's more often than that on average under perfect distribution. More often is not like... okay, so this is basically saying, given the ratio of legendaries to normal cards and the frequency at which you see foil rare hyperspace legendaries or whatever... I don't know if I said that right, but basically like doing the math and extrapolating from normal card rarity to hyperspace card rarity, is it the same distribution? The answer is no.
You said 2 dirty words in that sentence.
What were those words?
You said math and extrapolation, and right, I didn't hear anything you said after that.
You will find hyperspace legendaries
I open
and rares
packs,
more often
I look
than
at cards, I get happy, and I put them down. I play Star Wars. Next.
All right, next one. How did you decide on the aspects that would be used for Star Wars Unlimited, Also, were there any combinations of aspects that surprised everyone by how well they worked together? We wanted something that could divide the Star Wars galaxy across eras and make sure any prominent character could fit into any aspect. As for a combo, Cunning Vigilance was surprisingly effective. So that's what, yellow, blue, surprisingly effective as a color combo together.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's Luke and Han, baby.
That's
Makes
right.
sense.
The dream team.
Or Han and Chewie.
Another dream team.
Yeah.
All right. While Star Wars has a lot to pull from, it is a finite resource. How does the team plan to keep cards fresh in the long run? Yeah, debatable. Star Wars is finite, but there's so much to explore and new content coming out every year. To keep it fresh, we'll be making new versions of existing characters with new mechanics/abilities in new context. Great.
Yeah, I just totally disagree with the.
It's finite.
Finite. If we're talking,
it's like the universe, right?
expansions.
It's like the universe. It's ever expanding. So it's like as we go, it's expanding along with us.
And then they just released this like High Republic stuff that I don't know anything about, but there's all these characters, and two of the developers are talking about
pantheon of characters
people they like, and I'm like, I mean. And I've like recently gotten into the comics in Star Wars. There's so many comics characters. I'm like,
yeah.
This is a fascinating character that you could easily adapt into card games.
I started reading that same comic run that you were talking about, that one.
The War of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, War of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah.
And there's like, I don't know, 10 characters that I've literally never heard of before. So
yeah,
there's so much to pull from. It's crazy.
Yeah. If you're just talking movies, then yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's not just movies.
I wonder if they'll get the ability to make up characters in the future. That could be interesting. I don't know what that would take from like the licensing side, but could be cool.
I doubt it.
All right. The cards look like they're written so that they could support more than 1v1 games in the future. Are there any plans for game modes that might 4 or more players at once? If so, can you give any hints as to what those might be? There will be a multiplayer format. We can't go into details just yet. It does have unique deck building rules, and that's all we can say. So freaking pumped to hear that. I can't wait to hear what those are.
Expect many videos on our channel. Once multiplayer rules drop, I don't even care what it is. We are going to play
in on that.
We love multiplayer around here.
Yeah,
I've got a fake belt from my Star Wars Destiny days to defend, so it's gonna be great.
Yes. All right. Next up, bases have hyperspace version? ? Yes! ! Says Hyperspace Joe.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, cool. I will be playing with one of those, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. Can we have a spoiler card? Hee. But seriously, I'm curious with set 1, what do you all think are the most powerful aspect combination? Okay, only person who answered was Joe. He said cunning. So double yellow. Most powerful aspect combination. If you combine that with Jeremy's answer of what was the most powerful leader, because that is really what the question was.
Yeah.
Yellow Boba might be the answer. Cunning is a very good card.
Come on, Jay-Z.
Cunning is a very, very good card.
Yeah. So Boba Fett, Cunning. Maybe it's good. We don't have a galactic championship in the first couple of months. It's all Boba everywhere.
That's all we would say. Well, all right. Only one designer answer there, but I am curious to hear the other designers' answers.
I know, same.
All right. If you were to assign classic archetype of hero, mid-range, and control, which of the revealed leaders would you say represent each archetype best? So, personal answer from our favorite Jay-Z. Aggro, Sabine Wren. We've seen that. Mid-range, Boba Fett. And control, Redacted. A leader we have not seen yet. Or a leader that Jeremy doesn't want to reveal that has been seen yet.
He knows his personal power.
I don't think that is true because he already told us what the best leader is. So,
yeah. And let's be honest, he just told us who the second best leader is. It was Sabine. Come on, Jay-Z.
We love it.
Hey, with great power comes great responsibility, Spider-Man.
So you're going to get Jeremy in trouble. We love Jeremy. We're just roasting you.
I know. We respect. It's respect. It's reverence.
That's right.
It's honor of a guy who,
crushes really everybody in every card game he plays. Sweet. All right. Well, I'm very excited to see what Redacted is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got what's each member of the team's favorite aspect combo from the first set. Okay, we can glean more info from this.
Okay.
So John says command vigilance. So that is
Green blue.
Green blue. I'm so bad at looking at the names of the aspects and tying them in my head with the colors, and I really only see the colors in my brain. Tyler says command aggression.
Yep.
Green, red. Interesting. Maybe a Tarkin gamer. We've got Jeremy says cunning. Joe, cunning. MJ, command aggression.
There could be some Thrawns in there. A lot of cunning. Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah, could be. Ryan, cunning aggression, and Danny, cunning aggression.
So we didn't see.
So there's only one vigilance.
Yeah.
In here.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
You know what that does to me, Mike? Do you know?
It makes you want to play vigilance with whatever wasn't shown.
Yeah.
So vigilance aggression or vigilance cunning. And
yeah, John, is it hero or villain? Tell me.
I like playing both of those combinations. I love playing vigilance with cunning, and I love playing vigilance with aggression.
Yeah, I am curious now. I'm like blue. So that, yeah, he's a blue-green, which I played a lot of green-blue, Tarkin, Krennic.
And basically every single deck that you play is green-blue because Chewbacca and the only one that's not is Leia.
Yeah.
Which is green-yellow.
But yeah, Leia, I have done, well, I guess, yeah. So I am very curious. So I need to start practicing blue-red and blue.
And blue-yellow.
Yellow. Although blue-yellow feels like it pops up all like
Luke, like Luke yellow.
Yeah. Feels like that comes up a lot in our playtesting. But again, we have half of the set one, so.
Yeah, true.
But go ahead and tell me what I'm playing. Jeez.
All right. Out of all the designers, who is the best player? Can you guys guess? It's Jeremy.
I love that they put literally everyone in the room, and then Jeremy
says Danny. Jeremy's a very gracious guy.
Yes. Yeah, that's great.
Amazing.
I love the camaraderie in the room. I love the little
they all recognize greatness.
It makes me, this whole thing has made me want to get all these guys, all the developers, Xander, Josh, the whole team, Jim, just in a whole room, because I feel like that'd be a really fun room. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for our breakdown of the Q&A. Thanks so much for tuning in. We love stuff like this. This was a different kind of thing than they've done before. So looking forward to more of this. I think they even teased that they would do this more. So thanks for tuning in. If you're not in our Discord channel, drop in and continue the conversation about Star Wars Unlimited. But beyond that, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.